On tonight's Cobb Prep Rally, we kick up our heels as the football season heads towards postseason play. Hope High School makes a splash as we go poolside for our female focus. Hope and Milton collide in a battle for their sub-region championship. All this and more on the fastest 30 minutes in television.
When you order our hot wings at Buffalo's Cafe, we provide you with one of these. Of course, when you order our extra hot wings, we suggest you bring one of these. Buffalo's Cafe. Nothing fancy, just good food.
All champions have to dress the part, and Pro Sports has got you covered from head to toe with T-shirts, hats, lightweight jackets, and letter jackets. The only place big enough to get every Cobb school under one roof is Pro Sports, with 2 locations, including Shackelford and East Cobb.
Meet Linda Thompson. She's an active member of the East Cobb business community and a leader in education circles, but you probably know her better as president of Cobb American Bank. She enjoys what she does and might send you away in a better mood, too. Get to know Linda and your friends at Cobb American Bank. The games.
And nobody's going to catch Don Bundes.
The moments.
Here's the Hail Mary. It's tipped. Touchdown, Lassiter.
And everything in between. Cobb Prep Rally.
Touchdown, Blue Devils!
The only game in town.
Hey there, Cobb County, and welcome to another exciting edition of Cobb Prep Rally. I'm Scott Kozlowski.
And I'm Ann Kukanya. Thank you very much for joining us. And speaking of thank yous, it is Thank a Sponsor Month. So we're going to flash the phone numbers of our advertisers on the screen for you, and we want you to give them a call and say, hey, thanks for helping to keep us on the air.
That's right, because they allow us to bring you all the big game action along with the playoff action, which is just around the corner.
And in fact, a little later, Scott will tell you everything you've ever wanted to know about the playoff picture. But let's get to those important games, and we'll start you out with big game number 1. Here is Marietta at Roswell.
The Blue Devils rolled into the Hornets' nest and got stung. On the first play from scrimmage, quarterback Steve Rose throws a backward pass to Brad Colley, who then goes deep to Chad Crane. The play was good for 80 yards and a 7-0 Roswell lead. The Blue Devils offense came right back, led by Travis Zachary, who here ran for 20 of his 128 yards on the night. Marietta went to the air, but LeBron Mitchell's pass was intercepted, and Dexter Wood could feel a headache coming on. Luckily for Dexter, Travis Zachary provided the Tylenol as he intercepts it right back, picking off Rose's pass and taking it into Roswell territory. Marietta's Keytron Thornton scored from 8 yards out, and the score was tied at 7. Dexter may have felt a little better, but his headache was about to become an adult-sized bangaroo. That's because Roswell's Kenny Cook took the punt and returned it 59 yards deep into Blue Devil territory. Roswell was able to drive it all the way down to the 2, but the Marietta D came back and held them on 4th down. They were able to escape the Hornets' nest with the victory. Next week, Marietta will battle for the sub-region championship at Etowah, while Roswell hosts Chattahoochee.
Marietta is going to have to face Etowah for their last game of the season. Now, those 2 teams have been sharing the top spot in 6 Quad A, Sub-Region A, but in order for Etowah to keep that cozy position, they had to get past Lassiter on Friday night. So let's find out what happened. Here's big game number 2. Lassiter came into this game with a 2-6 record. They held a 24-6 lead in the 4th quarter. Here, Jason Coburn takes the Carlos Williams handoff, runs to left, and he takes the first down and plenty more, bringing the Trojans 8 yards away from another score. Coach Jim Cagle watches his team put on the finishing touches as Britt Lehman breaks through the middle for the score, capping off a 51-yard drive and putting the Trojans an untouchable 24 points ahead. Ironic, it was then the War Eagles started to pick up steam. The defense denies the Trojans their extra point. Then the offense starts to click. J.J. Cantrell airmails the pigskin to Jeremy Law, who caught 8 passes for 74 yards in the game. Cantrell back for another pass, but he's swarmed by Trojans and gets sacked for a 12-yard loss. Speaking of losses, Jason Coburn was sidelined in the 4th with an ankle injury. Meanwhile, the Eagles march down the field. Once again, Cantrell connects with Jeremy Law. Law gets pushed back a few yards, but the Eagles are poised to score. Then the snap bounces off Cantrell, and Lassiter recovers the fumble. It was the 6th turnover of the night. Lassiter capitalized on Etowah errors throughout the evening to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Our kids worked hard after a disappointing loss last week and prepared well. And we executed some things, and we also had a few breaks go our way, got some fumbles, and took advantage of that and scored, and so that was probably the key.
Final score 30-6. With a victory next week over Sprayberry and some losses by other teams, Lassiter could end up in the big dance.
Now only 1 week remains in the regular season, and the playoff picture remains unclear. Now, although some teams have already clinched a playoff spot, while others are looking forward to next year, there's still those teams that are fighting for their chance. Cobb Prep Rally now puts the playoff puzzle pieces together. Friday night will mark the end of the regular season for Cobb County football. 8 of the 25 teams in Regions 5 and 6 Quad A will move into postseason play. 2 teams advance from each subregion. The subregion champion plays the runner-up from the opposing subregion. Now, a few of these playoff pieces are already firmly in place. In Region 5 Quad A South, 8-1 Alexander, 6-0 in the subregion, has clinched the championship by virtue of their win over Osborne last Friday. Osborne has clinched the number 2 spot and will play the number 1 seed from 5 Quad A North. McEachern has the right fit for this piece of the puzzle. They are the champion of the North. The number 2 spot will go to the winner of the Paulding County-Harrison game on Friday. So, Region 5 Quad A looks like this. Alexander will play either Paulding County or Harrison, and Osborne will face McEachern. 2 of these teams will advance to be part of the 16-team state field. Now, Region 6 Quad A's pieces are not yet so clearly cut. In Subregion A, Marietta and Etowah play for the championship Friday night. If Etowah wins, they take the number 1 seed, leaving Marietta as number 2. But if Marietta wins, they are the champion, and the number 2 spot will go to either Etowah or Lassiter. Lassiter needs a win over Sprayberry and Chattahoochee and Etowah to lose. Otherwise, Etowah is in. Are you with me? Now, in 6 Quad A Subregion B, Pope is the champion, and Milton and Wheeler will battle for the number 2 spot. So it looks like this. Marietta or Etowah will play either Wheeler or Milton, and Pope will play either Marietta, Etowah, or Lassiter, depending on who wins Friday's games. 2 teams will emerge from each of the 8 regions, making up the 16-team state field. The playoffs are divided into the North and South brackets. 5 and 6 Quad A are in the North, and it looks like this. After 4 rounds of play, that will decide the state champ. Hopefully we've made this rather confusing puzzle a little clearer. We're going to have all those playoff games on our upcoming shows. But here's what's coming up on this show.
Well, Scott, we're going to key in on our Scholar Athlete of the Week. Then we'll flip and turn to our female focus. And if you're wondering about this Friday's football matchups, let Soothsayer Giles tell you how he thinks everything will fall into place. So stay in yours, and we'll be right back.
Introducing the Hair Pizzazz haircut. Yeah, that's the ticket. Possibly, maybe, I give up. Yes, Hair Pizzazz. Put some pizzazz into your hair. When it comes to buying fine jewelry, the name on the wall may make the difference. At Edward Johns Jewelers, we understand your need to feel comfortable when it's time to decide. We hope 15 years of giving back to East Cobb means something to you because it means everything to us. Edward Johns Jewelers.
Welcome to the new age of cheerleading. Cheering is now a varsity sport, and now more than ever, it takes sweat to make the squad. American Cheerleading hasn't forgotten that cheering should be fun and taught in a positive atmosphere. They let you set your goal and help you become your very best, and it's never too late to start. American Cheerleading's mission is taking beginners to a level they never thought possible. Flexible enrollment and experienced coaches at one nearby location. American Cheerleading, from the basics to the best.
Larry, where do you think you're going with that?
The oven?
The oven, Larry? Perfect.
At Papa John's, our mission is to deliver the perfect pizza.
Tonight's Scholar Athlete of the Week is brought to you by Huntington Learning Center at 977-2800. Take control of your future and break the failure chain for good. Call Huntington today.
Scholar Athlete of the Week, Matt Burrell, hits all the right keys. This Wheeler Wildcat is programmed for success. While playing center for the Wheeler football team, Matt keeps up his impressive 3.95 GPA.
I spend my time doing my own homework and studying, and sometimes I get enough sleep, but a lot of times I don't.
Well, Matt needs all the time he can get, having to divide it up between his many activities, which range from being the president of the National Honor Society to secretary of the Key Club.
Matt Burrell is an outstanding young man. Matt Burrell gives a lot to Wheeler High School, and Wheeler High School is very proud of you, Matt, and all the things that you do for us.
After graduation, Matt plans on attending Georgia Tech to study chemical engineering. Matt knows that staying on top of his many activities is the best formula for a great future.
Make sure when you get home from whatever athletic activity you're doing, like whether it's football or basketball, make sure you start right when you get home, because otherwise, you'll keep procrastinating and it'll get later and later, and you'll decide, well, I'll just go to bed, do it at lunch tomorrow. Then you'll get to lunch and decide to eat instead, and it just doesn't work.
Matt, best of luck to you on pursuing your chemical engineering career. And speaking of chemicals, the chemical of the week is chlorine. Yes, swim season has started, so let's dive right into our female focus. We're going to introduce you to Cobb County's premier pool shark. Keegan Walkley gets a friendly shove into the pool by one of her teammates. It's time to start another grueling workout. Keegan is one of the top swimmers in Cobb County. However, she's going to be concentrating on some different events for this season.
Last year I was a breaststroker, and all of a sudden it just went away. And then I became a backstroker. And now this season I'm more of a distance freestyler, but I'm also an IMer, so I'll probably still be doing 200 IM.
No matter what event Keegan swims, she generally wins. Check out her statistics from last year when she was just a freshman. Keegan went undefeated during her prep season and won the state title in the 100 breast and 200 IM. And it was only recently that Keegan's national record for the 100 back was broken. Maybe it's Keegan's built-in flippers that make her so fast. She has size 12 feet.
She definitely has the tools and some of the intangible things that I think it takes to be a world-class athlete. And it's just a question of her making up her mind how far she wants to go with it.
But right now, Keegan will concentrate on leading her Pope Greyhound team to another county championship.
Tonight's Female Focus is brought to you by American Cheerleading in Atlanta. From the top programs to the college-bound athlete, we teach basics all the way up to the very best in cheerleading training.
Hi, this is Bob Giles, sports editor of the Cobb Extra. We're back at the Buffalo's Cafe at Sprayberry Square. Get your pencil ready. Your chance to beat Bob is coming up right after you watch the plays of the week.
Tonight's play of the week is brought to you by Pro Sports. Check out our selection of JanSport bags and letter jackets. Pro Sports with 2 locations.
We're back at the Buffalo's Cafe at Sprayberry Square, and it's time for this week's football picks. Hurry into one of 6 area Buffalo's locations for your chance to outpick me and win a free bash night at Buffalo's. Now, let's salute last week's 6 winners. Well, it's time for this week's football picks. Hard to believe, but this is the final week of regular season. Let's get started first with 5 Quad A. Paulding County at Harrison. Well, Harrison set a school record a couple of weeks ago in outscoring Northwest Whitfield 42-41, but Paulding, I believe, is a good bit better than Northwest, and this should be a much tougher time for the Hoyas. I see Paulding pulling out a 21-10 victory. McEachern at North Cobb. It's been a long time since McEachern's offense struggled as much as it has this year, but there's been nothing wrong with the Indians' defense, and I think that will continue. I see McEachern pulling out a 17-7 victory over North Cobb. Douglas County at Campbell. Well, after a 3-1 start, Campbell had a string of 3 straight losses by a total of 4 points, so you just have to wonder how much fight the Spartans still have in them. I don't know the answer to that, but this is one of the better Douglas County teams of recent years. Douglas County 27-20. Pebblebrook at Lithia Springs. Although Lithia's had a better year than Pebblebrook, this game appears winnable for the Falcons. Again, you have to ask, how much fight does the team still have in it? I'm guessing Lithia will prevail 17-10. South Cobb at Osborne. Coach Brian Powell's Osborne Cardinals can end the best season in school history with a victory, and I think they will. They've just got too many offensive weapons for a South Cobb team that struggled on defense all year. Osborne 35-14. Marietta at Etowah. Most people expected Marietta would be pretty good this year. Not too many people thought that of Etowah, which has gotten a great coaching job out of former Marietta assistant Rick Swales. I just think that Rick's old school has a little too much firepower to lose this ball game. Marietta 24-14. Sprayberry at Lassiter. This should be a close one. You could almost flip a coin to decide on this one. I think it'll come down to who gets a break late in the ball game. My coin comes up Sprayberry, 21-20. Cherokee at Pope. Well, if Pope plays like it's capable in this ball game, this one could get ugly. Cherokee's had a real tough year, and Pope seems to be coming on strong here right at the end of the season. Pope, 41-7. Milton at Wheeler. Well, by Wheeler's usual high standards, this hasn't been too good of a year record-wise, but I don't think Coach Jeff Hollis will let the Wildcats let down against Milton. I think they'll play them tough, but I just feel like Milton's a bit too strong for Wheeler. Milton, 27-14. Walton at Sequoia. Both these teams have lost a little more than they thought they would this year. They're both capable. They both had some good stretches of football, but I think Sequoia's been a little more consistent. Sequoia, 19-14. And there you go. Don't forget to fill out your Beat Bob contest form at any of the 6 area Buffalo's cafes. 1 winner per store per week. We'll see you next week at another Buffalo's location. Until then, this is Bob Giles. See you next time.
Bob, again, a stellar performance. Now stay tuned to Cobb County, because when we come back, the Pope Greyhounds put on a show in our big game number 4. And we know you're on the edge of your seat to find out if our Hot Shots contestants can win a free Papa John's pizza. That's coming up next.
Let's face it, if you're frustrated with school and getting poor grades, it can affect your whole family. But fighting about it won't help. Doing something about it will. Call the Huntington Learning Center at 977-2800. We can diagnose the full range of your academic strengths and weaknesses and develop an individualized program to help you succeed in school.
Take control of your future and break the failure chain for good.
Call the Huntington Learning Center for a free appointment. You can learn. Call Huntington today.
Who says you have to go away to college and spend a fortune to get a great education? Don't listen to the cliches. Fact 1, you can get a great college education right here in Cobb County at Kennesaw State College. A fully accredited senior college, Kennesaw State offers degrees in more than 40 fields of study. State-of-the-art technology, day and night classes to fit your needs. Kennesaw State has it all. Fact 2, with tuition less than $500 a quarter, a Kennesaw State education is a real bargain, and financial aid assistance is available. So call today. A great education is within reach at Kennesaw State.
Hi, welcome to Music Docs, Cobb County's home of the bands and home of plenty of satisfied customers.
I keep coming back because they're really friendly here, and they're real good at having the supplies that we need for my daughter.
My favorite thing are the people. They are very helpful and a lot of fun, and the hours are great.
So get in step with Music Docs. Chances are your high school already does. For great buys and service after the sale, call Music Docs in Marietta, Cobb County's home of the bands. Are you a high school athlete looking for scholarship money? North American Sports Scouts can help. We'll send your profile to hundreds of colleges every month to help you find scholarship money. There's money waiting for you. Don't get overlooked. Call North American Sports Scouts for a free consultation.
Welcome back to the show. Hi, I'm Jeff Batten, creator and owner of Prep Rally Sports. November promises to be a very exciting month around here. We've got playoff football coming up, the $1,000 college scholarship, but most importantly, November is Thank a Sponsor Month. If you've enjoyed watching Prep Rally these last few months, we need to ask you a very small favor. Right, Coach?
That's right, Jeff. Please take a moment and thank these sponsors for helping Cobb County sports. We believe in Cobb County athletics, and we know you do too. November is Thank a Sponsor Month, so please tell them where you saw it.
That's right, sports fans. It's once again time for the Papa John's Hot Shot Contest. Tonight's contestants are Joey Catter and Jimmy Gunderman. First up, Joey will kick. And it's up, and oh, he sneaks it through. The crowd loves what they see. Next up, Jimmy's gonna kick. And he's hit it, and oh, it's wide left. But the crowd is still on their side for the third one. And this one is also to the left. Sorry, and thanks for playing.
Well, now we're up to big game number 3. This is Harrison at North Cobb. And I'll tell you, the Harrison Hoyas have had a little bit of a shaky season, but they beat Northwest Whitfield to keep their playoff hopes alive. Now they face a dangerous North Cobb team. If they win, they only have to beat Paulding County to get into a secure spot for the playoffs. But if they lose, the Hoyas' bid is over. Let's get to the highlights of big game number 3. North Cobb started off strong with Don Munden scoring on the Warriors' first possession. Somehow you can't go wrong by giving the ball to number 3. Munden once again breaks through and puts the Warriors in striking distance. North Cobb quarterback Ken Clark has to make a good showing on his birthday, but he likes giving better than receiving. That's Grant Cockrell's department. Cockrell grabs the pigskin to pull the Warriors up 14-zip. But the Hoyas weren't very considerate birthday guests. They dogged the party. Rob Moore goes deep and finds freshman sensation Corey Patterson for the 55-yard scoring strike. The Hoyas refused to go into the second half as the underdogs. Here, Roosevelt Standifer was set to punt, but he runs the ball and grabs a precious first down. That was all Rob Moore needed to set up his 14-yard TD pass to Eric Machoff. The Hoyas stayed tied into the second half, but they picked up steam and pushed North Cobb out of the running. Now Harrison has to beat Paulding County to secure a spot in the playoffs, and it's gonna be a dogfight.
For big game number 4, Pope travels to Milton for the Sub-Region Championship. Now, last week they were able to beat Wheeler for the first time in school history. They're going to try to do the same thing against Milton in our big game number 4. Pope came out of the locker room at halftime trailing by 14, so the Greyhounds decided to try an onside kick. Milton couldn't get the handle, and Matt Dahlhauser recovered for Pope. Pope went right to work. Quarterback Brian Hampton pitched to Forrest Green, who took the ball to the Eagle 15. Robert Jackson scored from 10 yards out, and Bob Lord's team cut the lead to 7. Pope's defense came up aces on Milton's next possession as Wade Holland and Joey Petrus collapsed the hole and forced Milton to punt. The Greyhounds offense responded as Robert Jackson runs right and picks up 7 yards as he slides safely out of bounds. Forrest Green took the ball down to the 1, and Brian Hampton punched it in to tie the score at 20 apiece. But on Milton's very next play, Court Centani took the handoff and bounced outside. He galloped 70 yards, and just like that, Pope was again down by 7. On Pope's next possession, they were unable to move the ball, and their defense moved back onto the field. Pope's defense was in need of a big play, and they got it. Brent Majors intercepts the Brian Staten pass and returned it down the sidelines, putting Pope back in business. Green scored for Pope as the fourth quarter began, and again the score was deadlocked. But not for long, as Milton answered with a touchdown of their own, again taking the 7-point lead. Bob Lord and the Greyhounds were able to mount another drive, helped by some nifty running by Robert Jackson, who carried the ball inside the Eagle 10. With 25 seconds left, Green scored from the 1, and the extra point would tie it. But no, the Greyhounds put it all on the line and went for 2. Brian Hampton rolled around the right side to win it for the Hounds. Pope takes the Sub-Region Championship in this 1-point thriller.
I'm just so happy for these kids. I think they deserve it, and I know that Milton played a heck of a game. We didn't slow them down much on defense. We didn't play a very good first half, but our kids made a commitment to each other at halftime that we were coming out and we were going to put on a show that was Pope Greyhound football.
Pope will cap off their season next week when they host Cherokee, and Milton will battle with Wheeler.
Nobody likes to get caught in the bright lights when you do something stupid or goofy. But let's face it, we have all been in the spotlight at some point in time during one of our most embarrassing moments. We went to McEachern High School and talked to some students. They told us about theirs.
And
I'm Sarah. I'm from Keatron High School, and I'm going to ask my friends what their most embarrassing moment is. I was trying to act like I was blind, and I fell down the stairs in the mall, and at the bottom of the stairs was all these boys, and they were laughing at me.
Like the time I was like gonna go look on a balcony, and everybody thought I said I was gonna go jump off the balcony, and I was trying to figure out why all these people were running after me, and I was like, okay.
Here, come here, come here. No, get your butt here right now.
I have to go.
No.
Really, I do have to go.
No, come here, come here. It'll only take you 1 second.
But I have to go.
As she was laying there, a bird came by and crapped right on her stomach. Man, I would be humiliated. Hey, Rocky. What's your most embarrassing moment?
I don't think I have any because I don't usually get embarrassed.
How can I have that problem?
Look at your high school.
Once again, the Minute Mike was entertainment at its best. But now it's time for this week's mystery trivia guest. Hi, I play football for Lassiter High School. I wear number 35 for the Trojans. I also wrestle and play soccer at Lassiter. When I get some free time to myself, I like to play my guitar, practice with my band, and work on my black Chevy Blazer. If you know who I am, call in and win.
The Wednesday night trivia question is brought to you by Hair Pizzazz in Marietta. The fifth caller through with the correct answer wins a free appointment. Call now.
Well, our mystery trivia guest's coach joins us next. Jim Cagle will talk about Lassiter's playoff possibilities.
Are you ready for change? Presenting Hair Pizzazz of Marietta and Essentials by Matrix, the winning formula for hair and body care. The ultimate tools for your new look can be found at great salons like Hair Pizzazz. Ask a stylist for a complete Matrix makeover from your head to your toes. And you won't believe our new VibraSound experience, perfect for stress reduction. Hair Pizzazz is the salon of choice for all ages, and we'll put some pizzazz into our younger clientele. So start with Hair Pizzazz and finish with products from Matrix Essentials, Johnson Ferry Road in East Cobb.
These days, it's not a restaurant's food that most people choke on. Buffalo's Cafe. Nice atmosphere, good service, and prices that are as easy to swallow as the food.
When it comes to buying fine jewelry, the name on the wall may make the difference. At Edward John's Jewelers, we understand your need to feel comfortable when it's time to decide. We hope 15 years of giving back to East Cobb means something to you because it means everything to us. Edward John's Jewelers.
When that instrument is through making music, you've got two choices. Buy a new one or let Music Docs repair it for a fraction of the replacement cost. Get it back quickly and sounding better than ever. So there's really only one choice. Music Docs on Canton Road, your prescription for ailing instruments.
If you're frustrated and failing in school, fighting about it won't help. Doing something about it will. Call the Huntington Learning Center at 977-2800.
Take control of your future and break the failure chain for good.
Call the Huntington Learning Center today.
Well, thanks for staying with us, Cobb County. And now joining me is the coach of the Lassiter Trojans, Jim Cagle. Coach, thanks for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
With one game left in the regular season, you guys still have a shot at the playoffs, and that's due to a large part of the big win over Etowah last Friday night. Can you tell me a little bit about that game and how you were able to win so easily?
Well, I have to give a lot of credit to the way our kids prepared all week. After a disappointing loss against Chattahoochee, it would have been easy for us to not concentrate and work hard, but the players decided they want to get ready to play, and we did.
Well, you find yourself this week in a must-win situation, or it's the end of the season. You've got a shot at the playoffs where you'll have to beat Sprayberry. You'll have to hope for Marietta to beat Etowah and Roswell to beat Chattahoochee. Now, if all those things happen, you're going to be in the playoffs. How do you approach a game differently when you know you have to win it at the end of the season like this?
Well, we really don't. We try to approach every game the same, and that's what we've been doing all year. We can't control what anybody else does except ourselves, so we've got to get ready to play Sprayberry, and that's primarily what's on our mind, and all our focus is on that. There's really nothing we can do about the other situation.
Okay, great, Coach. Thanks a lot for taking the time to join us. That's going to do it for this edition of Cobb Prep Rally. Thanks for joining us, and remember, it's Thank Us Sponsor Month, so be sure and give them a call and thank them for their support. Now we're going to leave you with some predictions from the Lassiter student body about this weekend's game against Sprayberry. We'll see you next time.
Lassiter Trojans are #1!
Sprayberry. Just kidding. Lassiter all the way.
I think Lassiter's going to win because Sprayberry's only won 2 games all year, and Lassiter's just better.